Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I am making a really complex soap. It's going to have lace detailing on the top, on the sides, and I'm calling this Sunday Best because it's a very fancy soap. I'm starting off by melting my hard oils with my hot lye water. This usually takes anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes for the size batch that I make. I do this because it's a lot more convenient for me than melting the oils, letting them sit, prepping the lye water, letting that sit. It's a lot easier since I'm going to be making the lye water anyways. Might as well use it to melt down my oils. It tends to save me time, and I just prefer to do this method. I'm adding in the liquid oils along with coconut milk powder, white kaolin clay, and some other skin-loving additives. I'm using the stick blender to incorporate all of those oils together. This doesn't take long, usually just about 30 seconds with the stick blender. So here I'm adding in my fragrance, and this is where everything started to go wrong. What's happening here is the fragrance is causing the batter to rise, which essentially means the first thing that the batter touches, it starts to solidify those oils. And it's not typically a big deal. You can just stick blend it out. However, this fragrance oil also caused my batter to accelerate really quickly, and so it was getting really thick. And the last thing you want to do when your batter is really thick is stick blend it, because you'll end up with soap on a stick. It won't even make it into the mold. Mixed in just a little bit of the batter with this neon pink mica, and I'm using that to fill in the indentations in the bottom mat so that there is a lace detailing. This is actually going to be the top of the soap. I'm just taking a little bit of that batter and trying to get it as flat on the bottom as I can. So my batter is really thick at this point. I'm trying to mix in some black mica, but it's still got a little bit of clumps in it, which aren't even a big deal. It just aesthetically isn't the greatest thing. So I stick blended out a majority of them. I wasn't too concerned with making sure that all of the batter was black, because if it had a little bit of the natural color, I figured it would just make a pretty swirl. I'm just getting out the rest of the pink before I put the black in. I typically am pretty neat when I soap, but this batter just, oh, it got everywhere. It got on everything. It was so thick, so hard to work with. Watching this footage back, I'm dying a little bit. I'm just trying my best to smooth it out, make sure that there are no air pockets, make sure that everything is as flat as it can be. I didn't even spend much time scraping out the sides because I was just trying to concentrate on what was already in the mold, making sure that it looked good. I took a bench scraper just to try and get it flat, since this was going to end up being the bottom of the soap. I didn't want it to have any texture on it. When I left this soap for the night, I honestly did not think it was going to turn out right. I was already trying to figure out how I was going to rebatch it to try and save it, but when I woke up the next day and I unmolded it, I was so pleased with how it came out. It wasn't perfect, but I think that given how misbehaved the batter ended up being, it came out pretty close to what I wanted. And I just love how the pink and the black look against each other. I think that the lace looks so pretty and so elegant. This is honestly one of my favorites, if not my favorite soap that I have ever made. I think it just came out so pretty. On the insides, the batter, not all of it is completely black, but I actually like the way that it looks. Kind of gives it a slight swirl, and I think that that just made it look even prettier on the inside. And the soap would have been fine on its own, but I thought it just needed a little something extra, just to make it extra fancy. I'm melting down the oils for the soap frosting. A majority of this is actually going to be used for another batch. I'm just taking a little bit of this batter just to add a little bit of piping onto this soap. I'm mixing in that same hot pink mica, and I'm just piping 2 little flowers, ruffles. I'm also adding in these little white pearls into the center of the flower or the ruffle and topping it off with some glitter. I'm so happy with how these came out. I love them so much, and I hope that you do too. These will be available in the April 4th shop update. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe if you want to see more soap making in the future.